Welcome back to Hybrid Studios and welcome back to the Coliseum. My name is Logan Hyder. This is the 5th edition of the Coliseum week. In this particular episode in the Coliseum, we have week 4 of college football. Kind of crazy to think that it has already been a month. We have a lot to go over today, so I'm just going to jump right into it. I appreciate you clicking on this video. I appreciate all the support that I've gotten so far. If you guys are watching this video, statistically speaking, you are probably not subscribed. So please do that. That is the best way to help me grow this, as well as share it with somebody who may like it. That is also my personal favorite thing, that people tell me that they've told a friend or shared a video with somebody or watch it with somebody when the videos come out. So anything like that really helps in ways that are hard to describe and that I will not bore you with. But I also am liking so far some of the comments that I'm getting already about how dumb my takes are and those kind of things. It is truly a much needed outlet to reply to those comments. So anyways, moving into the games and the storylines that we're going to dive deeper into today. First on the slate, we do have some Nico news towards the end, but you know, it's just starting to feel like bullying at this point. So, and we talked about him actually on the last episode because they played on Thursday. So technically he's safe from having his highlights looked at or anything like that. But we are going to talk about our other favorite person to talk about so far on the channel, DJ Lagway. It's really not his fault. He just happens to quarterback by far my least favorite team in all of sports, which is the Florida Gators, and happened to be, in fact, that I dislike him and his program so much that I was rooting for and bet on this guy here, Carson Beck, another guy that I am not overly fond of. While we're on it, since we're on it, I think that Miami is very overrated. Not only that, I think that they actually have gotten very lucky in hitting some teams that would have looked like really good wins if they were what they were supposed to be, like Florida. But I also think that it's so early in the season that people, you know, at this point they're jumping off of Florida, but some of these teams that they have beaten so far, like Notre Dame, in the way that they beat them, with Carson Beck just throwing it up 3 times and just getting absolutely bailed out. And then this Florida team, the way that they're playing, with a head coach is probably going to get fired, which we'll talk about. I just don't think that Miami is really nearly as good as the 4-0 record and the teams that are on their record would indicate. But they do get it done in this game, 26-7. I think we found out Miami is not a top 4 team. Boom. I literally just said that. Florida actually had an offense. This would have been a very close game. Tennessee and Georgia are the best 2 teams in the country, and you can't tell me otherwise. I did not play that, I swear to God. That is hilarious, though. Let's take a look at some of these plays. Carson Beck in some kind of fucking triple running back, wing, something. Okay. I really don't understand how they, I mean, we've done a couple episodes so far showing some of these clips, and look, there's another, no way, this has got to be the same play, right? No, they really just showed 2. I mean, the game wasn't that boring. Good God. The 2 highlights that they put on here with the big graphic and everything. In fact, let's look at the stats real quick. Lagway, after throwing 5 interceptions in a loss at LSU, went 12 for 23 for 61 passing yards. Is this from the Miami game? Oh my God, 12 for 23 for 61 yards. He totaled -3 air yards on his 12 completions, as 7 of his passes were caught behind the line of scrimmage. Oh my God. Lagway missed all of spring football and was limited for most of fall camp because of various injuries. I mean, that is definitely interesting, and it would suck if he just looks terrible out there because of that. But again, he should not have been put up there the way that he was. So that's interesting. I didn't know that. He had 61 yards. That was actually much worse than I thought that it was. But this I thought was funny because of the way that he's been playing. The way that he's been playing looks like a fucking clone jutsu out there. But then we got this Gagway, and then brother DJ Lagway is amazing. Son, throw it to the wide right. Open to work. That's so funny. Yeah, Billy is, like I said last week, Billy is probably gone soon. Once again, was right. A lot of the stuff from last week's episode, just like I said in that episode about the week before that, a lot of that stuff came true pretty quickly. We're going to talk about in the NFL how Mike McDaniel may not even make it to the halfway point, which I said that he would. In the NFL, and a lot of the stuff with college football, like Heupel, like DJ Lagway, like Nico, like Cade Klubnik, who we are going to talk about in a minute as well, are coming true. Like I said, Miami I think is overrated based on the wins that they have so far, and DJ Lagway. So this was before, I guess he ended up with 62 yards. DJ Lagway's line tonight, 10 of 17, 57 yards after the catch. 1 air yard per. I mean, that is horrible. I mean, that's like almost unbelievable. Seriously. Like, that is almost like impossible. It's that crazy. On completions, Lagway is only throwing the ball 1 yard down the field. Florida and Lagway continue to lack the deep threat. Yeah, you fucking think so? You say so? That's the understatement of the century. I would say so. I mean, good God. He literally threw every completion was behind the line of scrimmage. It's not just a deep threat. The man could not complete a pass 2, 3, 4 yards down the field. That's insane. I've never seen anything like that before in my life. I swear. Also, a lot of the times whenever I start to see something that might be relevant for a video, I just save it and then, bring it into the video. So most of the stuff I do not see until I see it with you guys. So I am genuinely shocked by that. Let's let Todd McShay do some non-dumbassery analysis on this real quick. Okay, let's see what we got here from old Toddy boy.
They don't hit you, they violently strike you. And that offensive line, well, it wasn't perfect tonight, they wear on you. And so what happens is in the fourth quarter, if they have any sort of lead, they do exactly what they did tonight. The Canes start leaning on you and grinding you, and they rob you of your will.
It's almost the way Miami won tonight. It wasn't pretty, and they still won. I can't remember the last time this Miami defense played like this.
I am obsessed with this Miami defense, though.
You should be, man. They are flying around.
And I can't say anything like Corey Heatherman is letting them play free, but with discipline, but with violence. It's exciting to watch. That defense...
So, Miami's defense is very, very good. Also, you got this guy at quarterback who, like I said, is getting bailed the fuck out all the time. That time he didn't get bailed out. I mean, that's a terrible throw. Steps up, running into the pocket, sidearms it off of one arm or off of 1 foot, and I mean, guys can make bad throws, but this is not a good throw. And Beck is not that good. Last year I thought that Miami was overrated too with Cam, which we'll talk about Cam in the other episode. But Carson Beck is not that good, and he's damn sure not worth being paid the most money in college football. And by the way, if you didn't know this, Carson Beck's deal at Miami is what basically caused the ripple effect of Nico leaving Tennessee, because his people basically said, well, if Carson Beck's getting $8 million, then Nico should get more than what he's getting. And, by that logic, yeah. I mean, by that logic, a lot of people should be getting more than they're getting. But just because the Browns signed Deshaun Watson to a fully guaranteed deal doesn't mean that every quarterback should get it, although that's what they should say to all their owners. And that's why the other owners were pissed off at the Browns for doing that. Just like people are pissed off at Miami for paying this for fucking Carson. I mean, again, I'm cherry picking this one play, of course, but it's not cherry picking if you go look at it for yourself and see how often he does stuff like this and gets bailed out again. That game against Notre Dame, 3 different times, and it was a very close game. I think it was a 3 or 7 point win. And 3 different times he just threw it up, and at least twice it was a touchdown. And again, those are 50-50 balls at best. I mean, the best catch that I've seen in a very long time was that one-handed catch where dude dove, caught it with one hand, and landed in the end zone. That was off of Carson Beck just throwing it up, and there was 3 people in the area. So I think that whenever they play better competition, this is not going to work for them, and I think that he is going to look really, really bad against good teams. Some other interesting things from this game, and coming out of, in particular, Billy Napier's situation there and how long he's going to stay there and that kind of thing. Fun stat of the day, Billy Napier would need to win the next 28 games in a row to match the winning percentage. They got his predecessor, Dan Mullen, fired. So there are only, 13 games if you count like a conference championship or whatever. But he would literally have to be go on a tear that no one's ever seen ever to keep his job. And the guy who had that record that he would then have after 28 straight wins also got fired. So I don't think that the point of this was that Dan Mullen should have been kept, which it looks like they clarified there. But the point being is that they're not saying that Dan Mullen should have been kept. They're saying that Dan Mullen deserved to be fired, and Billy Napier would have to do that to just be Dan Mullen. That is, pretty much tells the whole story. Kind of like Brian Callahan being 3-17. What else do you need to see? But we'll, again, talk about that later. Speaking of coaching, especially with Florida in particular, for some reason, John Gruden is getting brought up again. John Gruden gets brought up every single time that Tennessee's open for a job. And I talked about Mike Gundy before, always putting his hat in there. John Gruden does that too. He does that all the time. I've never seen him linked to Florida before, to be fair. But this man has the absolute best plot armor as far as coaches go that I've ever seen in my life, as far as just getting chance after chance after chance and just being considered over and over and over and over again. I mean, the man was just fired with cause from the Raiders because he was involved in a gigantic controversy. I'm not saying that he deserved that necessarily. I'm just saying the dude just cannot stop getting jobs. So let's read this real quick. The Dolphins of Florida are combined 1-6 this season. Both head coaches could already be in the hot seat. Enter John Gruden. This summer, the former coach said he would die to coach in the SEC and has dropped multiple hints about returning to either the NFL or college football. Earlier this season, Ian Rappaport reported that while no team has pursued Gruden for a head coaching job, several teams have shown interest in him as a coordinator. That is hilarious. If you think for 1 second that John Gruden is going to be a coordinator anywhere, for anybody, for any reason, for anything, for any amount of money, you are batshit crazy. He can do his YouTube channel and do whatever media job that he wants for more money than you would be willing to pay him and he's not even going to be in charge of the program. I very much doubt that. But we also have Bill Belichick in college football as well, so maybe, but don't see that happening at all. Like, this is pure clickbait. What's not clickbait, though, is whether it be John Gruden potentially being the Florida coach next year or whether it be something else, our boy Billy Napier is just not having a good time, man. He's just not having a good time. Whenever you're getting beat the way that they're getting beat and getting booed on your own home field and 41-17, that's not real, right? That wasn't the final score. Why does it say they're 0-1 though and 1-0? That's not right. Hold on. Yeah, they won 26-7. I don't know what that's from, but is that from? I'm so confused why that's right there. But this is supposed to be from 5 days ago, so we love to see that as Tennessee fans, very, very much so. We're going to move on and start moving a little bit more quickly through some of the other things that happened. Over the weekend, Cade Klubnik and Clemson lost to Syracuse. We're down in the second quarter, 24-7. We talked about this in one of our other videos. I think that his name, dude, oh my God, Cade Klubnik is super overrated as well, just like DJ Lagway, just like some of the other guys that we talked about. Cade Klubnik was the guy that was supposed to replace, I believe, Trevor Lawrence, or maybe it was DJ. I think maybe he was supposed to replace DJ because I think DJ had his fall from grace right before that. But regardless, Cade was after the actual success of, Deshaun Watson, Trevor Lawrence, that kind of thing. And he was supposed to be the next great one. And he just isn't. And he's kind of waited his time. It's kind of like the thing with Arch now where you're like, dude, you've been sitting for 2 years and then you finally come in and this is what you got. I mean, it's not impressive, and I don't really understand why people get so attached to their takes on quarterbacks. I mean, he has an arm. He makes plays every once in a while. This will be a guy that gets drafted high regardless of any of this because that's just what the NFL likes to do and scouts like to do. I want to see you at the career fair next week. I mean, he doesn't have like a punchable face to the degree that Carson Beck does, but it's not great. Absolute ass. Yeah. Yeah, so not a great start to the season for Clemson at all, or for Dabo Swinney, or for Cade Klubnik, or his NFL projections moving forward. I don't know why, but they will. Like I said, they will fall in love with him one way or the other probably, because he does have some traits that make him look really good whenever he is on grass and against air. Clemson returned 80% of its production from 2024, the most in the nation. They were 1-3 this season. So that is something about Dabo Swinney. If you don't know about Dabo Swinney, when the NIL and transfer portal and all of this stuff happened, he has been a vocal proponent against it. His argument, first of all, he just straight up argues about the fact that the colleges provide education and room and board and stuff. He straight up argued against paying the players in any way, shape, or form, even just being able to use their name, image, and likeness by its definition, for many different reasons, all of which don't really matter because they're dumb, especially whenever you're the highest paid state employee in South Carolina, literally. So kind of strange to come from Dabo Swinney, and the transfer portal thing for any coach to not get or to fight back against is just kind of crazy, considering that they can leave at any time and go anywhere and abandon kids that they were supposed to be there for 4 years, whose parents they told that they would be taking care of them and that kind of thing. If they want me gone, they're tired of winning, they can send me on my way. I watched the full context. I watched the full context of it. I mean, this is just dumb, by the way. Just real quick aside. If you're not watching, this graphic says someone really bet $8K on Clemson to beat Syracuse. It was only going to win $940. I know some people out there like this. Stop it. Just stop it. But anyways, Dabo, this clip the actual clip where he said this quote, it doesn't exactly, it's a little bit out of context, but not that much. Not that much. You really just shouldn't say this at any point, especially out of frustration. He's basically stomping his feet and saying, I'll take my ball with me and go home. It's not really looking good in Clemson whenever you have a guy who just kind of openly is against things like transfer portal and NIL. And it's like, well, okay, you returned 80% of your production, so it seems like you have built that culture there. You got guys that are staying around, and you're not interested. You're not taking new players, no roster turnover, that kind of thing, and not going great for you. Might want to move into the year 2025. My friend asked Nick Saban about that, because that's why he is no longer in college football. He didn't want to deal with NIL and transfer portal, and if you don't want to, then that's totally fine. But you should just go ahead and peace out instead of bitching about it. So here's a crazy catch from that Clemson game. Let's see. First quarter, boom. Oh, that's now. I love it when DBs stand up and I love it when DBs stand up and start doing that shit, dude. Like, I mean, you're supposed to, but like, you have eyeballs, dude. He was down. His left foot was down. His right foot was down. His hip was down. His hand was down. His wrist was down. Ball clearly in his hands. That was really a one-handed catch that he just like secured with the other hand, but that was nasty. So, Syracuse. So yeah, Syracuse defeats them, and now I want to talk for a second about Syracuse because they deserve it a lot more than Clemson does. But Fran Brown, the head coach for Syracuse, my God, I feel like this is kind of like the Deshaun Foster thing with UCLA, where I kind of remember his press conference and like liking him and feeling like it was different. I did not put together whatsoever or retain that information enough to realize that he was the head coach here. But yeah, take a listen to this. First of all, let's just show you the quote first. Yeah, Syracuse head coach Fran Brown on dealing with players getting poached. I ain't no bitch. I'm gonna come at you.
Yeah, bro. Dudes be trying to push up on my wife. She bad. It's just the game, right?
Yeah.
That's what they do. I don't care, but like, don't let me find out, and then I see, because I ain't no.
But you take it that personal, if like a school comes in and gets a guy.
But like, I'm gonna come at you, like, yo,
Right.
what's up, yo? Like,
Yeah.
all right, well, I'm gonna see you, right?
Yeah.
There's a couple dudes I called, and they try, hey, lose my line. You better, like,
Dang.
man, shut up.
How you deal with guys getting poached?
So yeah,
About what Vegas said. Nah, Vegas said Canelo was about to win. But shit, you know what I'm saying? Crawford said different, right? So I mean, I don't care about what Vegas said.
first of all, we're gonna talk about Canelo Crawford. Don't you fucking worry about it. But this right here, I think, really just says it. Bro talks like he's on the roster. Oh, it's so true. I've never heard a coach talk like that. I mean, I kind of love it, especially if you're going to go out there and beat Clemson at home. Do your thing, brother. Be you. But that is wild to hear, for sure. Okay, so moving on to the Oklahoma versus Auburn game. I actually bet on this game one way and then ended up live betting it the other way. And so I was paying attention to it from one vantage point, but I also didn't watch much of it. So this will be one of the ones that I kind of come upon with you guys. So Auburn versus Oklahoma, what I do know is that John Mateer, whatever, he transferred there. And people are talking about him in some crazy terms, which we're going to go over. But let's go ahead and get into this and see what happened here. Okay. That's a touchdown. What's the problem? Are we good? No. Oh. SEC just released a statement admitting they missed an unsportsmanlike penalty leading to a touchdown. Oklahoma wide receiver Isaiah Satenga was acting as if he was subbing out of the game before stopping at the sideline. Wait, what? Hold on. So that's why he was so wide open. That's our trick plays unsportsmanlike penalties now. It was 3-3. That ain't cost nobody the game. 10 sacks cost Auburn the game. Be for real. Yeah, first of all, it was 3-3. That was in the second quarter. That's not unsportsmanlike. I think we saw a play like that in no, we did in the NFL. Jared Goff was explaining it on that series on Netflix. Yeah, I mean, kind of hilarious story. I remember running a play like that where you pretended like you couldn't hear the coach. You walk to the sideline and it gets direct snaps to you like all the way back in fucking Pee-wee. Which not to say that major college football should function under the same rules, but my point being is that's I don't know about trick plays being unsportsmanlike penalties, but the SEC said that themselves. That's kind of wild. Oklahoma had 10 sacks. A single game program record. Let's see some of their work. I think that's Jackson Arnold. I'm pretty sure is Auburn's quarterback. Well, I mean, that sure is a sack, isn't it? So these are all just going to be like end zone views of sacks, which, you know, that's fine. But how I betted at first was Auburn. And then I switched to Oklahoma about midway through because they seem to overcorrect, which is a great thing that I love to do in gambling, is watching live lines and watching them overcorrect. Sometimes you can get teams that really are better than the other team where they overreact to a close game, and you can still get a really, really good team at a really, really good line. I do just have to say, too, while we're talking about this, that the lines so far this year in the NFL and college football, maybe it's because it's early, but they make no sense. Tennessee minus 39.5. They still have not learned that Tennessee always covers the spread against bad teams at home, always. Like I said, they will lose one game a year on the road to an unranked team under Josh Heupel per year, but at the same time, they blow teams out at home that are unranked. Ooh, that's a safety. John Mateer, the number one quarterback heading into that game. I don't think that that's going to change after that win, considering that he's now the favorite to win the Heisman Trophy. And I just have to say about this real quick while we're here. They asked him, I guess they're calling him Money Mateer. I don't know if it's because of this right here or what. I mean, I don't know if that means he's Johnny Manziel in any way, shape, or form. But Métier joked that he's a little bit different person than Johnny Manziel when asked about the nickname Money Métier on his way out. Asked him to expand on the differences. I'm going to church in the morning. Yeah, there's also a few other differences, like one won the Heisman Trophy, one beat a prime Nick Saban Alabama team, one played at Texas A&M when they had literally were in their first year in the SEC, and one had an entire stadium essentially built off of his name, his career, his revenue generated in a time before NIL, by the way. Yeah, I think it's a little bit different, you're right. But what I do have to say about that right there, first of all, let them take over that part. As a Christian, this is a weird thing to say. I would agree with you, Mason Collins. But also, okay, cool. I mean, I'm not one to like advocate for, and Johnny has talked about that time in his life being pretty insane and all the partying and that kind of thing. I'm not, but at the same time, dude, what a gay thing to say. I'm just going to say it. John Métier, you lost major points from me by randomly coming at Johnny Manziel. What you should have said is, I could only hope to accomplish the things that he accomplished at this level. I hope that refs in this OU Auburn game never get to ref a football game again. Wait, what is it? Auburn had more flags against them, 13 for 85, but OU still had plenty against them and for more yardage, 9 for 99. So no one can blame refs for anything. I mean, on the surface, I would agree with that. That's a fuck ton of penalties, though. Maybe they should have just not inserted themselves so much would be my takeaway from those couple statistics. But let's see what we got here. Auburn's getting, let's see. I mean, that's a terrible, I don't know what you thought that proved. Oh, yeah. Well, that's pretty bad. One of the worst no-call pass interferences of all time. Auburn got completely right. Oh, my God, buddy's not even look. What is dude doing over here? I mean, I get that he's trying to run out of the way, but, brother, be an athlete. Backpedal, sidestep, do something. You can't take your eyes off the play. You know why? Because this might fucking happen. That's crazy. That's terrible. Maybe they're saying that's uncatchable. I'd have to see it in full speed, but good Lord. Drewski. Why are there so many pictures of Drewski in like football outfits of some kind or another? Why is it like every time that anything happens, it's fucking like when Arch Manning plays against a good team and it's fucking Drewski. Like Jackson Arnold when QB power isn't working. Well, that's a reverse burn there. Cam Coleman running wide up and down. Jackson Arnold. Yeah. Yep. So let's see what we got here.
Hey, be real, my nigga. How much you got on that parlay? How much you got on that parlay, nigga? Hey, I know you got stuff on it.
I wonder if that's actually from that game. It does say Tigers. We'll come back to this right here, actually. But here's a little one of those summary type posts from the afternoon game. So we got this absolutely just, I mean, spooky. We got Belichick just getting roasted at every opportunity possible. This is going to happen over and over and over again. I would not want to play football, coach football in the age of social media, just because you're going to be, or really any sport, you're just going to be a meme. And if you're somebody like Bill Belichick, they're going to go so far out of your way or out of their way to roast you. But yeah, they got destroyed again. So not overly surprising as far as the fact that they are not good. Because we talked about that a few weeks ago, not expecting them to be, especially after the performance that they put up next week. So don't forget singing. Oh my God. No, that actually looks like there's a joke going around right now that the Titans and Texans game should be flexed to 4 a.m. or something. This is actually real. Clemson UNC will be on at 10 a.m. on Cartoon Network. 1-3. I did not even mean to do that, but it works. Clemson is on at 10 a.m. against 2-2 Bill Belichick, North Carolina Tar Heels. Is that where you wanted to find yourself, Dabo? Dabo's on the you're probably wondering how I got here face. So, anyways, moving forward, we got, Nebraska. I did want to talk about that game a little bit more, but just didn't make the cut. Dylan Raiola actually played pretty well, but he's getting roasted. But his mechanics, I will say, are fucking horrendous. And I've said it before, but if I haven't said it on a video, the Mahomes things, that was my dog taking a big yawn if you heard that. The Mahomes imitation stuff that he does, especially with his mechanics, it's just weird, man. It's very, very, very strange. But they are now 0-29 in the last 29 games against ranked opponents. Not exactly what you want to see. Let's see what we got here. Oh, yeah, there's actually another post that I was going to show you guys about this. But essentially what this from that angle, you can see it way better. He basically does a read option, hands it to the running back, and then, continues out his motion, which guys do, basically on every play. And the running back just never goes past the line of scrimmage and throws it out to him. It's actually fucking absolutely brilliant, to be honest with you. I love that. And that's so brilliant, as most brilliant things are, because of its simplicity. And, anybody could really run that, honestly. Anybody. So, I don't know. You might see quite a bit more of that moving forward, would be my prediction, to be honest. I mean, you have to run it right, obviously, but it's really not even that hard of a play to execute, and it keeps that somebody home on that backside for that running back who you did hand it off to in the event that it's not that kind of play, just to honor it, or, you know, whatever. It could be like an RPO of an RPO, which would be insane. But you could hand it to him, and then he could read it, rather to throw it to you or keep it. So let's see what we got here. Oh, look, it's an actual fucking highlight from the Oklahoma and Auburn game from the stuff that I pulled. And it's this, which is Buddy. Buddy hit L2 triangle, and the user had switched off to somebody else, and they just made a form tackle, and it didn't work. Good one, brother. Good one. Okay, so yeah, that is from the afternoon slate of games. A little bit of a more overall summary. To wrap up here, I'm going to just kind of give a little bit of a peek into next week. There were some very funny and interesting things that we talked about today from college football, but not a whole lot of big games or big implications or, like, you know, things that needed to be broken down. So we kind of covered most of the things that I thought were interesting enough to talk about. The new AP poll, for those that are interested: number 1, Ohio State. Number 2, Miami. 3, Penn State. 4, LSU. 5, Georgia. 6, Oregon, et cetera, et cetera. You guys can read. Tennessee's still at 15, which is, I mean, it's fine, but it's kind of hilarious because they live there now for some reason. Win or lose. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 SEC teams. Absolutely insane. LSU, Georgia, Oklahoma. Now, LSU, I think they're going to have problems when they play somebody good. I liked how they played against Clemson, for example, but looks like Clemson's not that good. Georgia should have lost to us. Oklahoma looked good against Auburn, I suppose, so they're probably the best of the ones that I've seen so far. I really, really like Ole Miss if their quarterback Austin Simmons could play better. Obviously, the same thing with Texas. I don't know what the hell's going on with Arch. We've talked about that quite a bit, but pretty interesting to have that many SEC teams in the top 25. How am I supposed to explain this to my children? The Vanderbilt is 4-0, number 18. Michigan is 3-1 at number 19. Missouri is 4-0 at number 20. USC is 4-0 at number 21. And then Notre Dame is 1-2 at number 22. Yeah, like, right? I mean, that works. Again, it works, because that should not be the case. So those are your rankings. I just want to go through a few other random stories that I came across, or things that happened over the weekend. This was a big matchup. This was a number 9, I believe, Illinois, playing against a ranked Indiana team. Looks like the ranking should have been switched, because Indiana absolutely destroyed Illinois. I think I needed Illinois to, like, not lose by, like, 10 or something, and yeah, they got destroyed. And definitely, yes, unranked them. It's not often that you go from 9 to out of the rankings completely, but you might have to do it in a situation like that. I mean, it's 56-10 at the beginning of the fourth quarter. I mean, they straight up pulled the dog. Oh, and also they were number 19. Yeah, so number 19, and good for them on that. But 56-7, is that what it was? 56-10 at the beginning of the fourth quarter. They could have probably hung another 21 on them. Easy. They pulled the dogs off for sure. 573-161. Oh my God. How do you even 30 first downs to 9? And it's 3rd and 2 for them right then. They probably got it. 31-9. Oh my Lord. That is insane. That is insane. They had so 161. They scored 63. What was that like? They had like over 30% of their total yards in points. What the fuck, man? That's horrific. You definitely unrank them. And or put Indiana at fucking number 1 right now. I mean, that is nuts. Dante Moore for Oregon, having a great year. Another guy that I have been betting on. He played against Oregon State. 21-31, 305, 53 rushing yards, 4 passing touchdowns. I like him a lot. And I like Oregon a lot. And these Marvel unis were some of the hardest. And Oregon puts out nothing but hard uniforms. And alternates, obviously, they're the one that started that entire trend. So they have like 100,000 of them if you go back through the years. But these were nasty. The white marble with the shiny metallic, and just the gray, just all of them. These were disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Whoops, nope. Is that the last highlight on there for that one? Looks like no, we got another. Let's see what you got, Dante. Oh, I like that. Ball 2. I like the trajectory. We were talking about the trajectory on Joey Aguilar's throws. But he now has 962 yards, 11 touchdowns, and 1 interception. So that's pretty decent. From Dante Moore in Oregon. We just talked about this, but I did want to bring it back up just to point out that Indiana was a 4.5 point favorite. Not to say that I'd bet on this or that you could have known that if you would have listened, but pretty crazy that they're minus 4.5 and they win by 53. Now we got to finish it up with something Tennessee related. I'm going to click through this really quickly while we talk about what it says. So far this year, Chris Brazzell, who we talked about in the last episode, who was literally going to beat Georgia by himself. I wasn't even paying attention. There's the clip for you right there on your screen. I actually legitimately was looking at the camera, but yeah, there you go. Love the clip of the tighter angle on his release. But point being, I'm going to get distracted by that. Absolute beauty. 20 receptions, 364 yards, and 6 receiving touchdowns. For reference, Ted McMillan, who you may know as a top 10 pick, had just 8 touchdowns all of last season. One AFC scout reportedly sees a mixture of Jameson Williams and Brian Thomas Jr. Jameson Williams and Brian Thomas Jr. ain't a bad combo of guys to be compared to. I'll probably get this part of the video striked, by the way. If anybody knows why Tennessee clips are like, they think that I stole classified information from the Pentagon or something, please let me know. But point being is that Chris Brazzell is nasty. Like I said last week, like I said after the Georgia game, could have won us the game in that game, but in general will be a very high draft pick. Rightfully so, and we'll continue to rise up those draft boards. Show a little bit of a play breakdown here. I want to try to throw some of this stuff in there for you guys as well, for some of you nerds. I don't know if there's actually supposed to be audio on there, but I just think it's interesting to see it laid out in that way, and it's a good play design. And then I think that there's play action across the field, and the only difference on that one, on this one here, is that the corner on the bottom didn't follow the receiver all the way up the field, or Brazzell ran the wrong route or something. So he was supposed to run a fade, it looks like, and it looks like he didn't carry that up the field for some reason. But if Brazzell carries that up the field, that's a touchdown, because you basically have one, which is the H receiver, coming across, and you're supposed to basically clear that out. If you're Brazzell, and the alert part is essentially that if he breaks free, you hit him on that. But either way, Brazzell shouldn't have even been in the frame at that point, and that's a touchdown. But play design and those kind of things are very interesting to me as well. And you really thought we were getting out of here without it, didn't you? You did. You thought that we weren't going to talk about Nico. Well, you were wrong. Not only are we going to talk about Nico may be supplying me with just, it's just the things sometimes that God will do for you. You just got to make sure you say thank you. You just got to make sure you do. According to Yahoo Sports, former Tennessee QB Nico Iamaleava is predicted to head back to the Volunteer State. I can't wait to have him back. God, I can't wait to have him back. I'm kidding, of course. And he's not coming to Tennessee. What they're talking about is Vanderbilt. He's going to come play quarterback for Vanderbilt. Dear God Almighty, please, serious. I don't know. I don't know what I have to do to make this happen. I don't know if I contribute to Vanderbilt's NIL fund or something, because I just, if there's one thing in life that I need to happen, it's this. I need it. As a Tennessee fan, please go to Vandy and come to Neyland. Oh, do they play at Neyland next year? God, I'm having a hard time putting the words how happy this would make me. I really am. Please do it, Nico. Let's just all join in a prayer that Nico comes to Vanderbilt. Whatever you pray to, whoever you pray to, join with me and just yes. If we get this, it will truly be something that brings a tear to my eye, because I will never stop talking about it. And I will have a countdown on every video that is college football related to the day that he plays Tennessee, because good Lord. I've never seen something and been so simultaneously confused and excited and mad. Like, at first I was like, really, buddy? Vanderbilt? Really? Like, A, ain't no way you're smart enough. B, again, you can't cut it at UCLA. So you want to come back and play in the SEC, but at a worse school in the state of Tennessee too, like, where everyone hates you. I don't... Whatever. Do whatever you want. Please come back, because it's just content gold. That is what we got for you today. That is college football week 4. not a whole lot going on the field as far as a ton of exciting plays and that kind of thing. It's more the storylines and the narratives that come out of these games that are interesting. In some cases, this week definitely was one of those. But I'm excited to have sat down and been able to go through this stuff on a Monday for you guys, which is when I'm recording this. It should come out tomorrow. And then Wednesday is when we're hoping to have our NFL recap. We haven't done one of those in a couple weeks, so we got a lot to talk about. And then also stay tuned for the Canelo versus Crawford video that I am making and excited to make, because it will be the first combat sports video here on Hybrid Studios, and that is something that I want to get into in a very, very big way, especially whenever football season is not going on. There will be quite a bit of combat sports news and videos one way or the other on here, and that's something that will continue to be on Hybrid Studios. And so I'm really, really excited to get into that. First boxing video. Canelo is one of my favorite fighters, unfortunately, so that will be fun to go through. But yeah, I appreciate you guys coming in again. Ultimately, I am competing against basically anything media related when it comes to what you could watch. And so I appreciate it more than you know. If you like this video, please subscribe, please share it with somebody, all the stuff. You know what to do. I really appreciate you, and I'll see you very, very soon.